Good morning, Twin Cities. Up and Adam. I'm Jack Tomczak. That's Andrew Lee.
Howdy. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Good. Things have changed.
Things have changed, Andrew.
New things on my microphone here.
It's a new year.
It's all strange.
Get on board. That's Lump.
I'm so excited.
That's Lump.
I like turtles.
All right.
I can now fax from my phone instead of an expensive fax machine.
That's cool.
But yeah, right? I
Tired of-
send so many faxes.
Lugging around my fax machine in a backpack.
What's a fax?
I was going to ask, do you even know what a fax is?
Yes.
You don't fax much until you need to fax. And then you have to. Like real estate, there was a lot of faxing. Of course,
Yeah.
I guess when I did real estate, that was 1983, so everybody was faxing. But
Now-
well, good for you.
When you first started faxing, because when I first started using a fax machine, it wouldn't spit out like individual sheets of paper. It was one long sort of roll of paper.
Thinner?
Yeah, it was
Am I making
thinner.
that up?
It was a different texture.
Yeah.
And you had to rip the sheets at the certain points. Very, very unusual technology.
Up and Adam, your home for fax machine related news.
Who still faxes? 651-989-5855.
Send us a fax.
That used to be a thing. You used to be
Well,
able to
find our
fax
fax
into radio
number.
shows.
Really?
Yeah, my first station, we had a fax number that we would give out on the air. And before, I'm just remembering this. You know how people will now text you like rude, funny pictures. You know,
You're a mind reader, man.
They would do that with fax machines. They would draw a picture and fax it in.
When I went to college, 1996, email was just kind of picking up and the 4 words with all the funny jokes and all that. Well,
Yeah.
6 years prior, when my oldest sister went to college, she would come home with just like reams of faxed jokes. Forwarded fax jokes.
Right. Right.
What did they do 10 years before that?
You could sign up for services like get a fax a day.
Yeah.
99 cents.
Stone tablets. On the show today at 7 o'clock, Senator Dave Thompson will be calling us. He has announced yesterday that he is not running for re-election. At 7:40, former state representative and now state Senate special election primary candidate next Tuesday, Jim Abler, calling in.
Correct. He just picked up an endorsement from the Star Tribune.
Oh, not at all surprised.
Not at all.
At 8 o'clock, U.S. Senator Ron Johnson out of Wisconsin calling in. And also today we'll talk about the airport and Uber and also a supportive letter to the opinion piece in the Star Tribune for the numbskull Minneapolis City Councilwoman who doesn't know what she's doing.
Alondra Cano. Last week,
Cano.
the Star Tribune editorial board put out an editorial saying that she went too far and she exercised poor judgment. That's as far as they could go in condemning her giving out the personal information of her constituents.
In this state, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad, right?
The only thing beyond that is,
really disappointed in her. So they said that she went too far. She exercised poor judgment. So yesterday there was a counter opinion piece published in the Star Tribune. And I don't have the guy's name in front of me. I'll look it up, obviously, before we get to
Sam Gould.
Sam Gould? Okay. He put a piece in there. Wasn't even really so much defending her. It was more just the nature of, there's other bad things that you should be more upset about.
Why aren't you upset about cancer and AIDS?
Right. Yeah, right. It wasn't a defense of her actions because her actions are basically indefensible.
There's no defense.
But it was, other much worse things are happening that you should be upset about.
Well, sure.
So
sure, but if you could use that argument for anything. You could use that argument for everything that Black Lives Matter is talking about. You could say,
right,
you're not being beheaded by ISIS.
Right.
So
why
you're lucky.
Why aren't you upset about that?
Right. You could use that argument for
And they
So
just
you felt like
and
the
actually,
worst
that
thing
argument
ever.
has been used by when you talk about gang violence. Mm-hmm. When you talk about when you compare the rate of black deaths from gang violence to black deaths from police, when you use that argument against them, they dismiss that argument.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about over-militarized police, use of force against unarmed black men. That's what we're upset about.
Well, and speaking of Black Death,
Well, I'm upset about Alondra Cano giving out personal information of constituents.
the plague blows all of these things away. Remember the plague?
Yeah.
Why aren't you upset about that? So, question, story from the vacation. A reminder to new listeners, I love my children more than other people love their children because I spit in the face of God with money to force them through science because they said we couldn't have any. So keep that in mind. I love my kids.
Right.
But they drive me nuts because they're young and that's what kids do.
Do you want a refund?
No.
Is that where we're going?
No, because I know we
Did you
want to
keep the receipt?
I know we just want to start over and do it again. Like, no. Love the wife came home one of the days last week from work, and we needed the driveway shoveled. She came in and said, "You had a tough day. You want me to shovel the driveway?" I'm like, "No, I will shovel the driveway. You stay inside." It had snowed 4 inches maybe, and I was out there with a shovel. Because sometimes there's not enough snow to get the snowblower out. I got a brand new snowblower last year, and it works really well. And then the neighbor guy comes over with his snowblower because he was already out, and he starts helping me.
Whoa. You're missing the point here, neighbor guy.
This has to take 7 hours. And he does half the driveway, and I'm very appreciative. We didn't talk because snowblower's loud, it's cold, and I give him the wave, and it's done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Since I have a snowblower, can I use that this year? Or does he drive by and say, well, he's got a snowblower? What was I doing helping him?
Maybe he'll think that he just inspired you to buy a new one.
In that, like, I don't like him? No, he doesn't. Oh, he got his own. He doesn't appreciate my help.
Oh,
he doesn't like me?
I thought we had a moment there. Apparently not. Apparently,
somebody doesn't need my snowblower.
Yep.
Like he's condemned me to shoveling the rest of the year. Maybe the rest of my life.
Or just shovel in secret.
Snowblow it.
Wait, make sure he's not home.
Snowblow at 4:30 in the morning. I'm sure they would appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a very because you are a passive-aggressive type fellow at times, that is, I could see why you would have that dilemma, assuming that he's going to look at it the same way.
I do a lot of reading, sometimes accurately, sometimes not, into everything.
Into everything. Right.
What are you saying?
I'm just agreeing
what
with
do you
you.
mean?
No, we're on the same page here. Totally 100% on.
Page, huh?
We are in agreement.
Think I should be writing books instead of doing radio? Why don't you just say that? Let's take a break. Andrew, what's at the top of the news bag?
I don't know because I don't have it printed out in front of me. But
Working on it.
Mystery bag, all
Trying
that,
to
and more.
Send myself links.